Breaking moments ago, Reuters reporting top Trump envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff will meet with Iranian officials in Geneva, Switzerland on Thursday as President Trump keeps the possibility of U.S. strikes against Iran in play. Let's bring in Admiral Robert Harward, a retired Navy SEAL and member of the Iran Policy Project at the Jewish Institute for National Security of America. Robert, thanks very much for being with us. Really appreciate it. So this sounds like one last-ditch attempt to try to reach some sort of agreement, or the trigger gets pulled. What do you think?
Well, I think Iran's playing a dangerous game. Everyone's known about the buildup of force, and yet really to this point, they've yet to negotiate in earnest. So here's maybe one of those last chances, but they're playing with fire. I think of this president, if he doesn't see results, we don't get something out of Geneva, he's going to be prone to act.
Yeah, so the USS Gerald Ford, the biggest aircraft carrier in the world, is currently docked or anchored off of the coast of Crete while it gets some crew rest and resupply. Safe to say that there won't be any mission against Iran until that aircraft carrier is fully restocked, the crew is rested up and they're on station, which still may take a few days?
I don't know. That could well be deception. These are things only the administration knows. And I think some of it is to compel earnest negotiations. So let's see how this is going to play out here in Geneva. This may be the last chance to get it right. So maybe that's part of that equation. And who knows, maybe we already have the force in theater. So these are the things for the Iranians to think about.
Yeah, in terms of deception, I recall all of those B-2 bombers that were headed for Guam just before Operation Midnight Hammer. So the president said the other day that he's considering an initial smaller strike, kind of a wake-up call to the Iranian leadership that you better get your act together or something else is coming. What would an initial smaller strike entail, to your mind?
I think limited ramifications, isolated. We had opportunities to do that in a location that's vital, but maybe unmanned, so there's no death, but a clear illustration of how quickly and how we can strike just about anywhere. So it may be a continuation of the show of force, another escalation with an actual kinetic strike to illustrate, okay, we're done. You better get serious and compel to act and react to the negotiation. So it's another step in the escalation process.
All right, so the reporting is that if an initial strike didn't work, a second larger strike would come, one that was aimed at decapitating the leadership. Might follow along the Maduro model. We don't quite know at this point. But here's what the New York Times said about trying to take down the leadership a la Maduro. It wrote, quote, Trump considers targeted strike against Iran followed by larger attack. During the discussions of the operation last month to seize President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, General Kane told Mr. Trump that there was a high likelihood of success. But General Kane has not been able to deliver the same reassurances to Mr. Trump during the Iran discussions, in large measure because it is a far more difficult target. If the president were to launch a second strike to decapitate the leadership, how messy do you think it could get?
It can get messy, and the real equation is what's it going to do internal to Iran, because that's going to draw the long term, and I think that's what the chairman cannot guarantee to the president. I'm sure he can guarantee, here's what we can strike, here's what we're going to do, but how it's going to affect the dynamics on the ground, I think are the part that the chairman cannot guarantee.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of layers to it as well. You've got the mullahs on top, then you got the civilian leadership, you've got the IRGC, you've got the besieged militia. I mean, you got to make sure that you handle all of those if you want to overturn the government and not throw the entire place into chaos. Admiral, thanks for being with us. Really appreciate your time, sir.
Always good to be with you, John. Thank you.